Woo-wee. Wow. Good morning. Still not feeling well over here. So it's probably be a lot shorter live stream. Wasn't feeling good yesterday, but we ended up going like hour 45, I think. Hour 45 minutes. But the baby's recovering, but and she was the worst on Saturday, but then she gave it to me and the wifey. So she had a fever on Saturday and now we're feeling it a little bit the last couple days. So but we're gonna get through it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, awesome, welcome. And if you're returning, even better. Good to see you back. Someone's just where I can go and learn. I'm eager. We had the. I'll come back to this. Oh yeah, she's she's gonna know. She's gonna know how to play golf. She's gonna know how to play chess. She's gonna know how to defend herself. Right, all that stuff. So she's gonna be well rounded, sports, everything. So, woo can't help her with art. Wife would have to do that. I have no artistic ability whatsoever. But Bitcoin reached $89,200. Oof, oof. October lost -4%. Oh, Moonvember. Oh my gosh. So if you look at October and Moonvember so far, down 29%. The month isn't over, so it may bounce, may go lower, right? But has not closed below target 4 yet. Wick below. So probably going to get a little bit of a bounce here. We'll see, but not expecting, obviously, a reversal to go make new all-time highs, obviously, right? Not just because of the daily chart, but because of everything that we've covered every single day over the last month or more. You know, the weekly chart, the 2-week chart, 3-week chart, and the monthly chart. So for all of those reasons, on every single live stream, all the charts, you know, but we expect bounces along the way. Like over here, we're talking about will it bounce? It did. Over here, talked about would it bounce? It did. Over here, talked about would it bounce? It did, right? And this doesn't show wicks, but it went all the way up to like 107, 500 ish. And then will it bounce? Maybe, right? Maybe it bounce all the way up to the $100,000 again. Who knows? Who knows? We don't have a magic crystal ball. We just try to stack the probabilities in our favor and over time be right more often than not, right? So that's the plan. That's the plan. We don't have any affiliate links. I've never taken $1 for affiliate money. I get offered almost daily, especially the exchanges. And some of those exchanges offer 50% of all fees, right? So probably be lucrative if I would have done that, but I don't know if those exchanges are credible or not. I don't know if they're the next, Celsius. I don't know if they're the next uh XYZ exchange that steals all your money. FTX, right? So if I don't know, how could I take money to sit and push people over there, right? And if they're not how there's so many Americans that promote all these exchanges. Here we go, ranting and raving, even though I'm not feeling well. Here we go. Here we go. Sit back. How can American influencers take money from exchanges that aren't even approved in America, right? Riddle me that one. So, but what we do have is we started rolling out the trading bots, right? So the trading bots, and you had this question: can someone suggest where I can go and learn? I'm eager. We had the recorded coaching on here. It was $79 a month. So, but I removed it from the website. You would have to direct message me on Twitter and maybe we could work something out. Or you sign up for the automated trading and, you know, just direct message me and say, hey, I want to see the 60 plus hours of recorded coaching videos. Me and Alex could just put that in the notes or direct message me and, we'll throw in the 60 plus hours of recorded coaching with this if you want. I just don't have it on the website anymore. So if you want the recorded coaching, sign up for this, the trading bots, and the dashboard. So you get sharpshooter candles 4.21, sharpshooter RSI 3.2, and then you get the dashboard. That's getting better every day, right? Alex is working hard over there on continuing to build it out, and he's doing a great job. I'm really impressed. I spent 2 months 2 years ago. I spent 2 months paying for coders that got like 50% of what I wanted, or not even. I don't know, 75% of version 1, and Alex has already surpassed all that. So I never rolled it out to the public before 2 years ago because I wasn't happy with it. But I'm happy with it already, and it's just the beginning. We're only going to continue to add more trading bots. We're only going to continue to add more tools on the dashboard. And I have a lot of crazy ideas that would help benefit you, me, and traders alike. So it's just a matter of working on those tools, the plan, everything, daily. So we'll continue to do that. So, anyways, quick plug: myself, our own website, our own dashboard, trading bots, all that stuff, and join the Discord and all that. So, but just message me, and I don't have it on the website anymore, but for the $49 or whatever, just let me know you're interested in the recorded coaching, and it's like 60 plus hours. We can throw that in. Yep. Yeah. I don't know about AMD. I haven't looked at it in a bit, but NVIDIA probably. It's already started, I think. What? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Sorry. So I'm not going to spend as much time going through everything. I just don't have a ton of energy. I feel like it's just sucking my energy. This I don't even know if I have a fever, but I'm a little bit off, right? Obviously. And so we'll just keep going. Chief Baby Officer here. I might talk around in circles, but if we just stick to the charts, we'll be fine. We'll make it through. Daily chart is bearish. Weekly chart is bearish, right? Filled the small gap that we laid out a while back. And I labeled it a small gap because nobody was talking about it, and if they did talk about it, they're like, "Oh, gaps don't need to be filled." And then like the last couple of days, everyone and their brother was talking about the gap, but no one was talking about it when we had it on the charts that it lined up with target 4, over a month ago. Nobody was talking about the gap. Everyone dismissed the gap because, we were going to $250,000 Bitcoin by the end of the 2025, right? Here we are, November 18th, 2025. And I think the great Tom Lee reduced it from 250 to 150,000 and probably has already switched that back to 55,000. So who knows? Well, it was just a couple weeks ago that he was talking about 250,000 by the end of 2025. And Bitcoin hasn't gone. The last time Bitcoin went parabolic towards the end with a blow off top was 2017. 2017, it only took $250 billion to move Bitcoin to have a blow off top. The same blow off top, 10 times that amount. You would need $2 trillion to have a blow off top. So the crypto bros, I was almost going to post this today, but I ran out of time. The crypto bros. Oh, well, it's just StreamYard's stock photo. Yeah, it's just StreamYard's stock photo. So it's probably not the only one. But yeah. I'm using StreamYard. So their streaming service that I pay for. This is one of like 5 stock photos, but the other options are like a bunch of bricks in the background. So there's not many options, and I don't feel like uploading my own picture. It does. Who cares, right? Okay, that makes more sense. Now I get your joke. Yes, I'm visiting Marty Party. Yep, I'm in his living room right now. Now I get it. But every time I have to explain one of my jokes to the wife or her family, like my family gets me. She gets me now after 10 years, but every time I have to explain my joke, then I'm like, is it even funny? I mean, I crack myself up. My wife laughs at me. That's why uh, she why we got married, probably, but uh, many reasons why. But anyways, get back to it. Now, where was I? So, anyways, we filled the gap. Oh, Crypto Bros. Yes, I forgot the Crypto Bros. 250 Tom Lee, $250,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025. It would take over $2 trillion to come in, whether with leverage or whatever, right? So, $2 trillion market cap increase, which is like 10 times what it was in 2017. 2017 was a $250 billion market cap increase for a blow off top. The most Bitcoin has ever done in a 3-month period is 1 trillion. Bitcoin's done that like 3 or 4 times, but a $1 trillion market cap increase took 3 months. So for it to go $2 trillion or more market cap within 2 months, I was like, this guy's just trying to get on TV. This guy's just trying to promote his hedge fund. And maybe a bigger players who wants to exit Bitcoin was paying him to say this. Who knows? But that's just all noise. It's all narratives. It's all news, right? The 3 N's: news, narratives, noise. We just got to trust what we see on the charts. And that's where we're going to stay with. So, weekly chart. Switch this over to log. It'll look more, the trend line will line up a little bit better, right? So, candles, sell signal again, Heikinashi, sell signal, right? Lined up with the second sell signal on candles. And we continue to follow downward path. We're not reversing and going back up to make new all-time highs. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, it's for educational purposes only, and hopefully have a little bit of fun along the way. Maybe make fun of me today, the way I sound, the way I'm talking in circles. Uh, but it's all good. I'm not worried about it. So, weekly chart is where we're at. So far, it's following the 2021 path similarly. Do I expect the fractals to work out exactly the same? Definitely not. Definitely not. Could they work out similarly? Yes. Expect bounces along the way. It'd be crazy if we come all the way down to longer term target 3. So I got shorter term targets and I've got longer term targets. So this is shorter term target 4 based off the daily chart, and then I have longer term targets based off of the weekly chart and higher time frames. So that's why I have shorter. You could have targets on the 5-minute chart, and that would be more of like day trading and or scalping, or the 1-minute chart. I could have targets on any time frame, right? So that's why I say it's the longer term targets or it's the shorter term targets. So shorter term targets are like daily chart. We've already hit 4 out of 4 targets. Long, we start getting daily candle closes below the daily chart, target 4, and or the weekly closes below, then the odds, the probabilities start to increase that we're going to come all the way down and hit target 2 of the longer term targets. I don't know if I explained that correctly. Maybe it comes off a little confusing today, but I think I got it. I think I nailed it. So I think I explained it correctly. So that we're continuing to watch it unfold in real time. And this fractal was from 2021, 2022. And from here, it was like January or February 2022. It was like 45 to, excuse me, 45 to 60 days. So what was it, 8 or 9 weeks, where it bounced and put in a lower high and then continued down, right? So I'm expecting this to take time to play out. There's nothing on here. Like the crypto bros are so late. There's so many that are flipping now. That's good. Better late than never, right? But if it's down 29% and now you're calling that the top is in, it was a top minus 29%, right? That's why I keep saying this whole entire time, the whole entire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, I've been saying the top starts at the local top. And the local top, in hindsight, is the top, right? So we called the local top at the and put out this chart on October 8th, right? And we're continuing to follow that. We haven't even retired it yet. We lost important support at 108, 200 when we had a weekly close below it. This was tiny support. We talked about it on the live streams, right? I don't expect this to hold very long because it's tiny support. There's not much support there. There's not much support over in this area. So probabilities continue to increase that we're going to come all the way back down to the bottom of that range, right? So when? We don't know. How long? I don't know. Maybe December, right? And then at that point, maybe we get the Santa Claus rally after that. Maybe not. So it just depends, right? This would, maybe it takes us down to this is all pure speculation. We don't know. But it is following it as of right now. So here, let's see if we can. I don't know if you can even see that very good. So there you go. Get a little cough drop here. I don't even have a cough, but it just tastes good. It kind of clears me up a little bit. So, anyways, what if, someone was saying Santa Claus rally, Santa Claus rally? Okay. But what if we're all the way down at $73,000, $75,000, like this chart suggests, right? Like this chart suggests. And it's December 15th. And we get that Santa Claus rally, the start of 2026. Just like 2022, there were so many large influencer accounts that also sell courses that in 2022, in April of 2022, they were bullish. They thought we were going to go make new all-time highs on Bitcoin, Ethereum, blah, blah, blah. In the Discord, I was all over it. I was talking about I'm shorting this at 3,408 Ethereum back in April of 2022 on this fractal. I was like, this is a lower high. The higher time frames are already bearish. I'm attacking to the downside. And I attacked with 10x leverage. So, I mean, huge accounts that are CMT certified. In April of 2022, they thought we were going to go see new all-time highs. So, learn to look at the charts yourself. Trust what you see on the charts. And do the best of your ability to execute what you see on the charts. Anything else is just noise, narratives. And you don't know if it's because they just don't get it. You don't know if it's because they're just trying to get clicks. And you don't know if they have, other motives, right? So who knows? But that's where we're at. That's the weekly chart. Go back to candles. Let's go back to so the weekly chart. I mean, you're still bullish at this point, right? It's like you had the bull trap up here, right? If you kind of just look at this from like I'm not a range guy, but the range traders would say, how did I have this drawn out? It was something like that, right? I mean, this is just kind of the way I look at it, and then you've got another one, let's say here, right? Well, that doesn't work. Red. There we go. So it's back into this range, right? And so if that was like the bull trap, because it didn't spend much time up there. I mean, you could even push it all the way up like that, but it didn't spend much time up there. It spent a lot of time in this range. And now that we're back in this range on a weekly basis, the range guys will tell you we're probably going to come back all the way down to this range at $1.5 trillion, right? So where is that? That would be at $78,000. So again, another reason why it's likely that we come down and see the bottom of this range, right? The blue range. When? We don't know. The trending dots are way up here. So at some point, those trending dots are going to be retested. everyone's hoping for it right now. So if they're hoping for it right now, probably not, right? Because they're all the way up at, I don't even know. That's got to be up at like $110,000 still. Let's see if that is 113,000. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So it, it could go sideways for a few weeks to let the trending dots catch up. Um, but they're going to start getting like they're pretty close together. Excuse me. They're going to start getting expanded, right? They're going to start getting expanded. So the next weekly close on Sunday, what is today? Oh my God. It's the start of the new, it's only Tuesday, right? Oh my God. So those trendy dots are going to get wider and wider apart. We'll see what happens, but may not get retested for a while. I mean, what if it comes down here like the other two charts suggest, and then it's like that, right? That's kind of how it would play out based off of the fractal, based off of the Wyckoff distribution, blah blah blah. See the trending dots get retested here, and that would be a lower high, right? And then continue down after that. However high it goes, maybe it retests like 2 trillion or close to it, and then expect bounces along the way, right? And this will start to flatten out the 200-week moving average. It's a slow moving average. Oops. There. So we've been talking about it. We've been covering it. What if that was a Head and Shoulders, right? Oof. That would be crazy. In the past, Bitcoin has gone down 30% from the 200-week moving average. So that would be deeper than what I would think. But that's what we're kind of watching. But that's what we're looking at right now. Weekly chart. It's bearish on the weekly chart. Pending RSI self signal on the 2-week chart. So it's going in the opposite direction, right? Relative strength has been leaving the building, and price usually catches up. So there's been divergences, right? Relative strength is leaving the building. Pending RSI self signal on the monthly chart after bearish divergence. You got bearish divergence. So the trend is your friend until the end. The RSI sell signal on the monthly chart doesn't happen very often. But Jesse, there's still 12 days remaining in November. Okay. I know. And when there was a pending RSI sell signal on the monthly chart 10 days ago, then there was still 22 days. See if I can do math today. MACD. The MACD bearish crossover on the monthly chart doesn't happen very often. Similar to RSI. There was bearish divergence on the histogram. the histogram was moving upward until the crossover in June 2023. This is a lagging indicator. If you're waiting for a monthly, this is why I say crypto bros are so late, right? They're still calling for new all-time highs, but it's super late. This was the top was in November 2021. It didn't cross over till January 2022. I was buying January 4th, 2023. And the crossover happened June 2023. The top was in October 6th. And now here we are. It's crossing over in November, right? So if you put all the fundamentals away, yeah, we can look at it. You got it, Chuck system. Excuse me. Ay. I'm trying. Oh yeah. The problem is two reasons why I don't have 100,000. Well, there's three reasons, but one of it's my fault. Two of them were my fault. 70,000 followers. Like I've been more active since it looked like the top was going to be in on Bitcoin, but when there's not much going on, like there's no reversals and it's just going sideways for a year, there's not a lot to post about. But number one is I would for sure be at 100,000 followers or more, maybe 200,000 followers if I only posted bullish charts. If every chart came off as bullish posts, I would have, there's accounts that were less than mine, growing slower than me, who have 150 to 200,000 followers now. One of them has like almost 600,000 followers, and but he's only posted bullish charts since I was at 10,000 followers, he was at 20,000 followers. He's got almost 600,000 followers now. He only posts bullish charts. Only. I've never seen him post one bearish chart ever on Bitcoin. So bullish charts, you get a lot more followers. Bullish charts, you get a lot more clicks. It's proven. So anytime you see me post a bearish chart, know that I'm not going to get as much followers or clicks. Just so you know. Unless there's a going in a bear market, I might get a couple hundred more than normal, but I've known this since the end of 2021. I've known this since October, November of 2021. I already saw that bullish charts with showing 500,000 followers, all that stuff gets more clicks. Even if it's in a bear market, it gets more clicks. So that's one. Two, sometimes I don't post as much because there's nothing to post, right? There's like if it's going sideways, I don't have as much to post. So, but yeah. Bullish charts, I would be at 150 probably at least. But who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? I would rather have 70,000 followers and show you what I see on the charts than 500, 600,000 followers and I only post bullish charts and going against what I see, right? So it's all good. Well, I've been posting since 2021, so a lot of influencers have incorporated what I see on the charts, and it's a copycat league. It's all good. There'll always be one step behind, though. always, because by the time I'm posting what I'm seeing on the charts, I'm already I'm already one step ahead, and that's the you gotta be able to see the next minimum 5 moves ahead in chess to even be a decent chess player. So always one step ahead. If you see me rolling out 2 trading bots, it's because I have 30 trading bots. So, you know, cool. Cool. Bearish MACD crossover pending on the monthly chart. Pending RSI sell signal on the monthly chart. We didn't build a strategy based off of indicators. We built indicators based off of my strategy because people were having when I started the live coaching, and I only did live coaching for two months, and I recorded all those live coaching calls, and so I have like 60 plus hours of recorded coaching with like 7 guys, the Magnificent Seven, and but to try to see what I saw on the charts, I put them into indicators to help out visually. That was why I made the indicators to visually try to help visually speed up the learning curve. So when I was selling Bitcoin at 61,000 in 2021, I didn't even have these indicators built yet. I built them afterwards because it was based off of, so I try to make it visually similar to the strategy that I had built over years. And it's very basic. It's a basic, simple system. And I believe that because when you have all that noise out there, when you have so many people that are adamant and that it's going to 250,000, and when things are happening in real time, you can't consult uh 20 different indicators. You can't consult 20 different strategies. You have to have a simplified strategy that will that in real time, when everyone is saying something different, you have to uh you have to make a business decision based off what you see, right? So when everyone else is talking about $250,000 Bitcoin when price is at $116,000 and we're seeing a sell signal, we're seeing the trending dots start to roll over, we're seeing another sell signal. You have to have a simplified strategy, and you have to know that strategy inside out. And then you have to have your emotions under control. And that's what I learned through the recorded coaching. I learned that the indicators will help that I built based off of like visually. And then over time, I was like, wait, you have the same strategy as me. How did you not execute that? And I'm like, dang, emotions. You could have the exact same strategy as me, and emotions still you either get in too late or you get out too early, and you don't have a full plan laid out before manual trading. And 3.5 years ago, I learned that, and that's when I went down the rabbit hole. And so, because of all the people who did recorded coaching, and a percentage of them couldn't execute the exact strategy that I'm doing, led me down the rabbit hole of 100% full automation. So, and we're only going to go down that rabbit hole more and more. So for that, I'm thankful for people pushing me to teach them the coaching part of it. I declined for 6 months, and then I was like, all right, I'll do it. So that's where we're at. But you have to have a simplified strategy to execute in real time when everyone's saying $250,000 Bitcoin, right? right? RSI is leaving the building, not increasing, right? Here's the difference. I was bullish at 16,800. So it works both ways. I'm not a perma bear. I was called a bull down here. When people were talking about 3,800 Bitcoin and Bitcoin was at $16,000, I was pointing out November, December, June, bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence. This is all bullish divergence. Even the indicator is picking up bullish divergence, right? You have bullish divergence and a RSI buy signal in October 2022. Relative strength is coming back slowly, right? December, January 2nd. Relative strength is coming back. And I bought at 16,800 based off of the daily chart and based off of this weekly chart reversing back around. And then on the weekly close, you see we had the buy signal. So I got in right before the buy signal. Buy signal was at 20,000, but we already had an RSI buy signal. We already had bullish divergence, right? So I was called a bull, and people were talking about $3,800 Bitcoin, right? People were talking about shorting Bitcoin, and I'm like, this looks like we're reversing, right? So you have to be able to block out the noise. Not only that, it was a wedge, right? We had a target for the wedge. And that got us back up above the 200-week moving average, and it did. So it came up, came back, retested the trailing dots, and then took off to the upside, right? So we were bullish at the bottom. I have a let me see if I can find it. Don't believe me? Oh, here we go. Here we go. See if I can find it. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me see if I can bring this over. Is that showing? Yeah. So there we go. This week hasn't closed for Bitcoin, but it could be breaking out of this downward consolidation. Bullish divergence called out 8 weeks ago, but takes time to play out. CME gap 28,805 ish. So we're calling out the gaps. You can see it on the daily chart. You can't see it on the weekly chart. 28,805 ish. Daily buy signal was January 4th. So actually bought it like on the calendar day, it was January 3rd, but it was after the close of the candle. So the close of the candle was January 4th, but it was still like 5 or 6 p.m. when I bought on the 3rd, right? So it was like a couple hours into the January 4th candle, but who cares? Caution. Weekly and monthly indicators still bearish. So even though I was buying at 16,800, this chart was posted at 18,215. But in the Discord, I was all over it, right? I haven't been as active in the Discord for these charts because I've gone down the rabbit hole of full automation. But I was all over it in the Discord back then when I didn't have the full automation. This was January 11th when I posted this. Right? So just remember 18,215. It was breaking out of here. The indicator is picking up bullish divergence, right? And then there was a buy signal. So it was just breaking out here at 18,200 when I posted that on January 11th. And then it flushed all the way up to 20,000. And then I moved my stop loss up to break even, right? So at 16,800, my stop loss was moved to break even, and it's a risk-free trade, and that was a 5x leverage long. So 5x leverage long, give it some time to breathe. After it closed at 20,800, the trading dots were up at 18,000. Could have it wicked all the way back down? Yes, but I like to get to a risk-free trade. So this isn't. I'm not the hindsight crew, right? You take a lot of crap when there's reversals going on. I was a bull at the bottom. I've been called a bear at the top, right? Local top becomes the top in hindsight. This local bottom became the bottom in hindsight, right? So, you know, you just stick to what you know. And so doing the same strategy as back then, right? Same strategies. I've basically had the same strategy since 2020. So, of course, we keep improving on that. We didn't have the indicators back in 2020. We didn't have a Discord in 2020. Didn't have um, recorded coaching back in 2020. The indicators and coaching came in 2022. And then the automation started in 2022 as well. And I just rolled those out. I'm just feeling comfortable to roll out the 30 trading bots and dashboard and all that stuff. So, because I've got new trading bots that I'm live testing as well, but those ones look so promising that those would be. I don't know if I'm going to release them to the public. Maybe a select few, and it would cost a lot more than $49. But if you can't find profitable settings on back testing results with the 2 trading bots I rolled out, then you need to do more back testing. So $49, you should be able to cover. If it costs $100 a month, you should be able to recoup your investment with trading bots. Should be able to find settings. So it's only $100 a month if you want 100% full automation. Factoring TradingView, factoring the $49 and the third-party automation. So anyways, that's what we're looking at. Bitcoin, the range. There's many reasons why it can come back down to this area. Many reasons. Ethereum, weekly chart is bearish. The trading dots are way up here though, right? So had a candle close below the 4th target, but now it seems like it wants to come back up and retest the trading dots maybe. Could be a bullish engulfing candle. Expect bounces along the way. Still in the downtrend from here, though. As of right now, still in the downtrend. There is bullish divergence. So the bullish divergence tells me that it seems like it wants to at least retest the trading dots, right? Bullish divergence. Bullish engulfing candle. Probably going to come back up and retest the trading dots. So we'll see what happens. Technically, these targets are still valid, but if you're playing this breakout on the buy signal and then it reversed back down with the sell signal, you should have gotten out of your trade, right? And then wait for the next breakout, in my opinion. So even though the targets are still valid, if you're taking the buy, you're taking a small loss, right? Take that small loss. 6% loss, right? That's what I would do. I would take a 6% loss. XRP, bullish divergence on XRP, Bitcoin dominance, is breaking down. So maybe we're gonna get bounce on altcoins here, a continued bounce, maybe a mini alt season. This is something that we've been talking about and covering uh, all the way back here, all the way since July, right? There was bearish actually, I mean, we've been talking about this for years, but breakdown, bearish divergence on the Bitcoin dominance, and then another sell signal, right? And then came down to hit longer term target one. Still bearish on the weekly chart. So we laid out this plan way back here in September. Will it bounce? It spiked all the way up to 63.5%, give or take. It spiked all the way up here to 61.5%. And so seems like it wants to come all the way back down and retest the 200-week moving average. I talked about this yesterday. I said, I gave a lot of examples where, I short the bounce, but if you look at it, I'm the most confident at shorting up here. Now, after 4 targets have been hit, people want to start shorting the bounce. You want to short the bounce up here, but people want to short the bounce after 4 targets have been hit. So, better time to short is up here, right? Better time to short was up here. The short was the last short was here. Came down 19%, right? Shorting at 93,000 is not a good time to short, in my opinion. Thank you. Yeah, see, everyone wants to short it now, right? That's what I'm talking about. I went into it extensively. It's like it's already down. Like as time goes on, right? As time goes on, and it's down 65%. And I don't know anything about you, Low Dog. Maybe you were shorting it from the top. I don't know. But from my experience, people want to start shorting when it's really bearish, right? Nobody wanted to short it when it was at $408. Nobody wanted to short it at 344, right? Now they're looking for a bounce to short it because everyone's talking about it. Could it bounce back in to the trading dots at 247? And could that be another good short? Yeah, it could be. But the dealers, the brokers are already priced accordingly. Shorting it up here, you're going to get better like options pricing. Shorting it down here when it's already bearish, right? It's probably, I haven't looked at it today, but it's probably priced accordingly. But yeah, I mean, if you get a good bounce back up to like 243, 250-ish, maybe even a back test of the confirmation line, that would be a good short. But this is what I'm talking about when people are interested at shorting, once it's already down 65%. This would have been a good short based off the weekly chart, if you get it to 295, right? The weekly, if you get to 295, maybe there'd be a good setup to short because I'm expecting it. And if the pricing is good. Like there's probably better pricing on the other ones. Like dang, I've gone an hour. So I start off struggling, but I'm starting to warm up. But like the Nvidias, the Palantars, all that stuff. It's possible it goes all the way down to $73, but you would have to put out an options that takes 6 months, 9 months to play out. So probably be expensive anyways. I just think there'd probably be, I don't know, probably something better to short. I don't know what the pricing is on it, but then I'd be patient. I'd be patient. Maybe if it comes back in the training dots, but there you go. Okay. That's better. That's a lot better. Good job. Yeah. Just you know, there's a lot of talk on it now because it's down 65%. But if you look at like uh Amazon daily, that's probably too expensive. Microsoft, right? UNH, TQQ. That was a good short. I shorted TQQ because it's a 3x bull ETF. So it's already 3x leverage and then short it with options. I shorted TQQ and filled a small gap. So from here to here, it created that gap. I shorted that. NVIDIA. Comes back in for a retest, that could be a good short. I don't know what the pricing options are. I don't know how it's looking right now, but Meta, right? So comes down, comes back up, and that was a big drop. May not have caught this one because it unless you are already in it because it gapped down and then there's a sell signal in the gap. I mean, still probably be fine. Yeah, still a massive move down, but sometimes they gap it down on you. QQQ, right? The targets on QQQ. But sell signals were at 610, right? 608. And if you look at the NASDAQ futures, right? Those are the targets. SP 500, those are the targets, the futures. Dollars breaking above target one. Palantar, maybe it's going to come back up, retest trailing dots. That could be an opportunity. SQQ is the inverse of it's basically shorting the QQQs without shorting it with options. So it's the SQQQ, and it's a 3x bear ETF, right? Pro shares ultra pro short. But you don't want to hold these ones too long. Netflix, SMCI had bearish divergence at the top. Right? Came all the way back to the 200-week moving average. It took time, but it did. So let's see. Weekly chart. Expecting NVIDIA to come back to the 200-week moving average. There was a bearish engulfing candle on the weekly chart. Still above the trading dots as of right now. But you've got bearish divergence on the weekly chart, followed by a pending RSI sell signal and a bearish engulfing candle on the weekly chart. So NVIDIA, if it was like, say if it bounces up a little bit higher, maybe, or right there. And if you had a long enough options expiration date, who knows? Might be take a year, like SMCI, but when it's still bullish, but there's signs, right? There's bearish divergence, pending RSI sell signal, bearish engulfing candle in the weekly chart, broke below the upward trend line, blah, 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 right? Daily chart had sell signals. It's bouncing up right now. And it still seems a little early, so I might have to price out the options today on NVIDIA. Palantir. Same on Palantir too. Maybe one has better pricing than the other one. So, what else? ETH, talked about it briefly, but it's at target 4 and looks like, bullish divergence. So, not much really to report. Probably bounce back into the trending dots at least right now. Gold Chuck system. Where is gold on here? There's silver. There it is. So still following the doodling. Kind of mapped it out as like maybe we would see like bearish divergence and a topping pattern, but it might take some time to play out, right? So could have this been a lower high? Maybe, but it's bullish on the daily chart as of right now. It's it's ultra bullish on the weekly chart as of right now. So there is a RSI pending sell signal, but it's too early, right? It's too early. So relative strength is still pretty high. 2-week chart is ultra bullish. So you'd like at this moment, you would still expect, buy the dip scenario. Could the top be in? Yes, top could be in, but it's too early to call it. 3-week chart is ultra bullish, right? So not always, but like Bitcoin will most of the time have bullish divergence at the bottom and bearish divergence at the top. Gold, not as often, but still something to watch for, which means higher prices, right? Higher prices. So if it did go through a retracement and then maybe it puts in bearish divergence, and then the lower high is the higher probability. So, but the higher time frames are still ultra bullish. Me personally, I wouldn't be shorting this, right? I wouldn't be shorting this. There's got to be signs, like the NVIDIA weekly chart had bearish divergence followed by a pending RSI sell signal, while the daily chart already had a sell signal. That's a higher probability than right now. So I wouldn't be touching the short button on gold. Me personally, right? Obviously, you do you. Yeah, just remind me. I forget from time to time unless I'm actually in a trade. I'm not in one. I might have to get in one. If it bounces higher, I might have to get in one, just based off the weekly chart and stuff. So I might have to keep an eye on that one. I'm not in it right now though. There are at least 7,500 chart posts that I did from 2022, 2023, 2024, and even into 2025. You could learn so much from that. The recorded coaching, if you did it's not on the website anymore, but if you did the $49 a month and you message me, there's 60 plus hours of live coaching that's been recorded. You learn everything you would ever need to know. Not only the charts, psychology, everything. I go through everything I knew, everything I know. I recorded it. So it's hours upon hours upon hours. I don't have the energy to do live coaching. I did live coaching for 2 months, and I went hard. Like, the live coaching probably was 100 hours, and I recorded 60 of those 100 hours. In 2 months, I did 100 hours. I don't have time. I don't have the energy for that. So that ship sailed 3 years ago. Sorry. I did my best. I went all in. I did my best, and I only charged live coaching $199 a month. $199 a month for 7 people. You do the math. I always outperform what I charge people. And then the recorded coaching was $79. Well, it was $49 to start off, and then it went to $79. So 60 plus hours. But let's see what else. Any other requests? I don't see any other requests on there. It's starting to rain again. Southern California. Flat today on the 10-year yield. This is the monthly chart, but below the trending dots. 3-week chart had a sell signal. 2-week chart had a sell signal. 1-week chart had a sell signal. Daily chart had a buy signal. So higher time frames are bearish, but the daily chart is bullish. 2-year is below the 200-week moving average. So seems like the 10-year yield would go below the 200 as well, right? We'll see. We'll find out. China. Oh, it's coming down pretty good now. Dang. It's starting to rain. Nice. I mean, we need the rain. But the baby loves to be outside. She just wants to be outside all day long. So when it's raining, it's not good. But I think that's about it. I think that's about it. We talked about this, cover this on Bitcoin monthly chart. It just spiked and hit it at 89,000. We talked about that when price is up here. It was like the monthly chart seems like it wants to retest the trending dots. And the trending dots were below target 4, and it has spiked. It's, another milestone, another that the bear market has begun is that in June and July of 2021, it never retested trending dots. It retested trending dots in January 2022, bounced around for a couple of months, and then once you had closes below it, I mean, in hindsight, it was a bear market. Did not touch the trending dots. Did not touch the trending dots. It did touch the trending dots. So that was another thing that I talked about. So, anywho, in 6 days from now, there will be a sell signal on Bitcoin 2-week chart. And that hasn't happened. I mean, okay. A sell signal on the 2-week chart below the trending dots has not happened since March 2022 and January 2022. So another milestone that it's a bear market. This sell signal was above the trending dots, and it was early in the bull run, right? But it was sell signal above the trending dots on August 2023, and then no sell signals this whole time. So another reason why in 6 days, another confirmation that another milestone that we're in a bear market. I don't know how many you need, but that's what we're looking at. We're looking at all the charts, all of it. We're gonna get that bounce to 100,000, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it wicks all the way up to the tiny support. That would be, that would be like your last good short if it bounced all the way up into there. So, and then that would be a crazy good short, right? Like if it were to bounce all the way up to here, say that's a wick to $100,000, the psychological level, and if it did come all the way down to this range over here, right? That's a massive short. That's 24%. If you're shorting with leverage, right? 24% multiplied by whatever your leverage is. Like I always say, though, be careful. You better know what you're doing because leverage is the great equalizer, but it's also the great destroyer. And with that, I think we're going to leave it here. What made it hour and 12 minutes. So I'm starting to feel it. I'm like getting into my rhythm, shaking off some of the cobwebs. We got it rolling, but probably need to take a break and rest a little bit. So with that, we'll continue to sniper the markets together, and hope you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you on the next live stream. Hopefully, I'm feeling a lot better by tomorrow, and we'll get rock and rolling and not have too many cobwebs in the beginning of the live stream. But we made it through. We did an hour and 12 minutes today. I'm happy. So with that, have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next live stream. Adios.